All right, Burgundy dorks, you know who you are. And I'm talking about like you really, like you serious Burgundy dorks, like with a sickness. You know who you are. You Burgundy dorks that walk in the store all the time and, hey, what's new? Hey. Who are some of the new guys? Who are the young, I'm looking for something cool and, I don't want to spend a lot of money. Who's the guy, And at the same time, you're asking me who the new guy is, and I'll tell you who all the cool new guys are, but then you'll ask if I have Ravenel or Coach de Riz at 50% less than anyone else, and then leave. Because that's kind of your gig. You guys are looking for the grails. I get it. You're hunting, you're treasure hunting. And that's cool, but it doesn't really work. No one has the wines at the prices that you want to get them at. So, the first question you ask me is indeed the valid one. Who's next? Who's hot? And we've told everyone that comes into our store, we love Burgundy. We know who the hot new guys are. We've told people about Bernard Bonin. We told people about Paul Piot. We told people about Pierre-Yves Collin-Moret. And we're kind of like half dismissed because everyone's looking for Rousseau and Coche and Ravenel, when at the same time they should be buying cases of this stuff. Because, hate to break it to you, but with regards to Burgundy, we kind of know what the hell we're doing. So listen to me today. Here's your next hot guy, Eric Boigelot. Well, not really Eric Boigelot, that's the father. Charles Boigelot is the kid, the hot kid. And quite the resume. The family has owned grapes mostly in their home village, in their hood of Monthelie, since 1918. Right? So the domain's been around for a long time. A small domain, 9 hectares. Was that 20, little over 20 acres, 20 something. And, the key thing here is this is a family domain that for years have been making pretty good wines, selling grapes to very famous people, which we'll get to. And then finally, the kid, kind of steps out. And the kid stepped out in a big way. So Charles did his work, his studying, his coming up, if you will, at, as a matter of fact, Paul Piot and Coche de Riz. He worked in both cellars. Two of the unicorn, iconic white Burgundy producers, and red, working today. He learned a lot, brought it back to the family estate, and here's the funny thing. We kind of knew this going in to taste the wines for the first time. We tasted the wines a couple months ago, and everything was all lined up, and we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, the Boigelot, Meursault is going to kill it, right? Like he worked at Coche de Riz, he worked at Piot, his Meursault is going to be amazing. And the Meursault was like, pretty good. But we've seen that before with people that worked at Coche and have gone on to produce their own wines. And we tasted it before with several other guys, the same thing. The Meursault, even though Coche is the Meursault master, the Meursault is not their jam. And I think part of it is because like the Meursault from their home estate isn't like the main gig, right? These guys are in Monthelie. So what happened is when we got to the reds, when we got to the Monthelie reds, then it was like, yes, this is Charles Boigelot's home. This is it, baby. Sure, you can buy Meursault from the guy that worked at Coche de Riz. And it ain't bad, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't taste like Coche friggin' de Riz. But his Monthelie Rouge is spellbinding. And that's what we have today. We have the Eric Boigelot, née Charles Boigelot, Monthelie La Massale. Now, he makes a series of Premier Cru Monthelie wines as well, and Village Monthelie wines. This is, for us, the secret weapon wine. It's sourced from 3 very specific vineyards in Monthelie that are tip top. So the first is La Bataille, which you may have seen from Monthelie du Repolcheret. That's a very famous vineyard they work with. And he also works with the Premier Cru sur Level, which is right next to Volnay-Clos de Chêne. Monthelie and Volnay share a border, right? So this is Volnay adjacent, which makes it even more compelling. But Volnay adjacent in the best way because it's actually the cooler terroirs with climate change means these wines are coming into the pocket now as opposed to getting overripe or as opposed to being too lean previously. So we're in a very exciting spot here for red wines in Burgundy. So you got Monthelie, La May Bataille Premier Cru, you got Monthelie Sur le Vel Premier Cru, and then a little piece of La Pièce Fite, or they say Pierre Fite, which is a neighbor to both and is a little higher up on the plateau. So, or higher up on the slope, sorry. 3 great vineyards in Monthelie combined to produce this really compelling wine. They have plenty of old vines, tons of 50, 60-year-old vine material here. And Charles works in a very kind of modern way, but when I say modern, it's pretty hands-off. It's destemmed, native yeast, barrel and tank. So he's not reinventing the wheel. He's just perfecting the work that his father Eric already did here, and kind of making the wheel better, rolling faster, right? And his touch is supreme. It's pretty crazy, so unexpected. Like, you go and say, oh, the guy worked at Coach, the whites are gonna be amazing. And the whites are like, oh, pretty good. And we're like, okay, I don't get it. And we got to the red wines, it's like, holy shit, we get it. Super talented, this guy. What do you drink Burgundy for? All you Burgundy nerds. What do you drink it for? Silk, spice, that fragrant cherry thing, popping and popping. Mineral, soil, terroir. What attracts you to Burgundy wines? All that is in here, right? I'm a Burgundy geek too, just like you. In the late 80s, I was cutting my teeth with, Auspice Nuit wines from Faverly and that kind of deal. And yeah, I get it. I've had Jaillet, I've had Romanée-Conti, I've had all that stuff. I mean, not in like 25 years because wine merchants can't afford that stuff. But when I did have it, I know why I loved it. Right? And this wine should make you fall in love with Burgundy again. It can be exhausting, chasing unicorns, right? How much work is that? And then you get the unicorn and you open the bottle and you're like, yeah, that was pretty good, but man, $4,000, right? When, you can drink this for, what is it, $50? I don't even know, I have to look. I think it's around $50. This wine at $50 approximately, it's on the thing when you click below to buy it, which you should buy this, is a sensational bottle of Burgundy of the highest order from a very exciting new source. So the next time you come into the store, you say, who's the hot guy? And we tell you, here's the hot guy. Don't ignore us. Look for a bottle of Rousseau for $100 and walk out. Good God, no. We are wine merchants. We are Burgundy fans. When we tell you somebody's good and somebody's hot, we flippin' mean it. Game on.